Hey, this is Brent, and welcome to Brent's Crossroads for this special POV ride at Universal Studios Hollywood on the escalator. Just kidding. It just seems like it because there's a lot of escalators up and down the parts of Universal Studios Hollywood. But what this video is going to do, we're going to go on the studio tour, the Backlot Tram ride. So let's hop on. Let's go see some earthquakes, some plane crashes, the Psycho House, and King Kong. So thanks for stopping by the Crossroads. I'll see you on the other side of this POV tram tour of the studio tour at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Bye everybody to the left. Bye everybody. We are leaving the theme park behind and heading into the heart of the studio where tons of Hollywood's top talent come to work every single day. Speaking of top talent, I think that is an excellent segue to introduce you to my co-host. You may know him from Saturday Night Live or as the host of The Tonight Show. You'll know who it is, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guys.
Kelly.
And the greatest driver.
Tommy.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Kelly.
owes me $5.
Oh.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, we do have a few safety rules. First, if you need any assistance during the tour, or if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have sound or video issues, then reach up and pull the red cord.
Okay, the one cool thing about the tour that we were on today is that we get to check out the construction of the new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift Ride. So you'll see in different sections the construction. They're almost done. They've been testing. I'm kind of excited. And look, some more escalators. All right, back to the ride.
Kind during the tour, and be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and water effects. So of course you can have your cameras out for great photos, but keep a good hold on them with all the shaking that happens, so you don't drop them, also so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and for those around you, please no use of selfie sticks while you are on board. All right, time for the fun stuff. We are traveling down our movie poster timeline. Movie posters on the right side of the tram represent just a few of the thousands of films that Universal has produced throughout the years. It all started with this guy on your screens waving his hat. That's Mr. Carl Lumley, our founder. And Carl Lumley called Universal City the strangest city in the world. We are technically a city. We have our own fire station to your right, our own sheriff station, and our own zip code. And as we continue down the timeline, at the tops of these movie posters, you'll notice our iconic Universal Globe logo. It's aging and evolving as the studio ages down the timeline. Our first few years of films didn't open with that logo, but nowadays it's hard to imagine a Universal film not starting this way. And we are headed towards our front lot right now, where TV shows and films are made inside of our sound stages. First sound stage you see to your left is Soundstage 12. It's the biggest one we have on the lot. Some really big sets of it inside of it, like Frankenstein's Lab, Dracula's Castle, Scarface's Mansion, and the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park. Now we're making our way further onto our front lot. Over to your left, we are very close to some of our sound stages. A lot of cool stuff is shot inside of these. CSI, crime scene investigation. They shot here for years inside of 4 different sound stages. This is where Britney Spears shot her Oops, I Did It Again music video. Kelly Clarkson filmed her talk show here inside of Soundstage 1 before she moved it to New York. The HBO Max show Hacks films here. And these 2 stages to your left used to be home to Superstore, the NBC comedy that starred America Ferrera of Ugly Betty fame.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
You know, they keep making us all act. Your face stays where it is, it's going to get punished.
We have 36 sound stages on our lot. There is no number 13. Filmmakers can be kind of superstitious. And Superstore used to use a 3rd sound stage over here to your left, stage 14. 14 also used to be home to the Mindy Project, the Mindy Kaling Show. And the Peacock original series Bel Air, that stars Jabari Banks and Ollie Charlatan, they have been using these same sound stages as well. They actually wrapped up their 4th and final season just a couple of months ago. Should be coming to Peacock soon. And coming up on your right, we're going to pass by some more sound stages. The NBC shows Parenthood, Good Girls, and The Good Place used to film their interior scenes inside of these. More recently, there is a new Peacock series, The Paper, based in the world of The Office. It's the same documentary crew as The Office, but at a different office, and they filmed to your right. And here's what that show looks like.
We sell products made out of paper, toilet tissue, and local newspapers. That is in order of quality.
My name is Ned Sampson. I am your new editor-in-chief.
Have you read this paper?
It's awesome. We are going to make it better. I hope it's not too disruptive to have me shake everything up.
Don't be so self-deprecating.
God, not again.
I love that Oscars in both The Office and The Paper. So they filmed that to your right, and again, it's a Peacock series. And another Peacock series, you'll see one of the stars coming up on your left, the cute little statue of Ted. He's got a series out on Peacock as well. Season 1 is up on Peacock. They filmed season 2, it ended, or they wrapped it months ago, so it should be hitting Peacock soon. And TV runs on a fairly quick schedule. One episode takes anywhere from about a week, maybe 2 weeks tops to complete, from the first read-through to the final taping. Film is a completely different story. Film takes months, sometimes years to complete. We need hundreds of people to help complete them. Some of those people work to your left in our production bungalows. These bungalows used to be dressing rooms to Hollywood's top stars like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Tony Curtis. They're now where Hollywood's top writers, producers, and directors come to work every day. Illumination works here. They brought us all those Minions, The Secret Life of Pets, and Sing. Mark Platt works here. He produced Wicked, both on Broadway and the films. Wicked for Good's coming out next month. But don't miss this next bungalow on your left, Bungalow 5195. You want to look down next to the door, you'll see a familiar portrait. You'll see half of it because they didn't need to trim these bushes. But that is the top of Alfred Hitchcock's head because that bungalow used to be his.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock. We all go a little mad sometimes. Seen the blood.
Now that bungalow was actually offered to Steven Spielberg as an office, but he did not want to take it.
You said he could move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. That should be a shrine, a museum.
Very exciting, just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office.
Hitchcock has influenced every director.
I saw Hitchcock once, walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had his bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror.
The Birds? That was a really scary movie.
The Birds? Oh.
And sound stages. First production in them was Hairspray Live. They were then used by Jennifer Lopez for Worlds of Dance, then by America's Got Talent, and then by the new seasons of Will and Grace. And right now, Monday through Friday, they're being used by the new NBC comedy St. Dennis Medical, the clip that I showed y'all on the load line, starring Wendy McClendon-Covey and David Allen Greer. And the first season's on Peacock. The second season will be hitting NBC soon. But we're now leaving the front lot behind. We are officially entering our back lot. Out here on the back lot, the world is around the corner at every turn. This is where we come to film our exterior scenes on a very large scale. Comedy Central's Key and Peele, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and American Ninja Warrior have used our metro sets. Also really big films like Captain America, The First Avenger, Transformers, Spider-Man, Fate of the Furious, and Hobbs and Shaw. And we call our metro sets New York, but they could be any city we dress them up to be. So for Hairspray Live, they were Baltimore. For Ted, they're Boston. For the Blues Brothers, they were Chicago. Here's what it looks like for Ted. So as we pull forward, look to your left, that's our main New York street. I think that pile of dirt is there because they're going to spread it out and make it look like a dirt road. They did that on the other side of our metro sets. We're going to drive past our metro sets again in another minute. So Steven Spielberg helped us design our metro sets, but Spielberg's not the only Oscar award-winning director. Universal has collaborated with throughout the years. Another one is Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up on stage. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it was great to have you.
One of the largest and most intense 3D experiences on the planet. Wysteria. That Backlot was projected onto one of the world's largest 3D digital screens, standing 40 feet tall, 180 feet long. It was produced by Peter Jackson and the filmmakers over at WhatFX. The filmmakers at Weta have won 7 Academy Awards and have worked on tiny little films you might have heard of, including King Kong, Avatar, and the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. Here's a behind-the-scenes glance at how they made that ride.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where the people are looking. They're looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
So you can take off your 3D glasses, you don't need those anymore. We're going around the backside of our metro sets now. Once we're past this big wall to your left, you're going to see a humongous wall of bricks. None of the bricks are real. Most of the bricks and stones used in our backlot sets are fake, so we can keep changing the looks of our sets and reusing them without you recognizing them. So big wall of fake bricks over here to your left, and then coming up on your right, we're going to pass by a big mural done by LA artist Tristan Eaton. It's an homage to our monster movie history.
An instrumental part of the process of designing these murals was getting to go to the Universal Archive. Going there, I got to see in person props from the movie, photos from behind the scenes, original illustrations from those movie posters, all this stuff. I had an early affection for movie monsters. I was always fascinated by the magic behind making movies.
We're going to talk more about Universal's monsters in just a minute when we're in that area of our backlot. For now, glance over to your left, Soundstage 30's over there. There's a big red V at the bottom of it. That is where The Voice filmed.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Snoop Dogg from The Voice. And we tape our show right here in stage 30 and 31 in the heart of the Universal Backlot. These state-of-the-art sound stages allow us to bring every round of our show to life, from the blind auditions to the live finale, and everything in between. Make some noise! We know what America.
Reba McEntire's a coach again on this season of The Voice, and she doesn't have to go very far for her second job because her NBC sitcom Happy's Place films right next door to The Voice in stages 32 and 33. Now also to your left behind these trees and greens there is a body of water. It's not just any old water, but it is old. It is the Black Lagoon from the creature from the Black Lagoon. Last year was the 70th anniversary of that 3D classic, and it's a part of our legacy of monster movies and horror films that stretches from Dracula in 1931 to our new Dark Universe that opened up at Universal Epic Universe a few months ago in Orlando. And it's very appropriate we're talking about monsters because now we are headed to Little Europe. Little Europe is where a lot of the original monster movie films shot their exterior scenes, like the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula. Universal basically invented the monster movie genre back in the late 20s, early 30s when America was going through the Great Depression. But modern day audiences recognize Little Europe as The Good Place, the NBC comedy that starred Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. Fans of that show will recognize the grassy area to your left. That's where all those neighborhood meetings took place. Coming up around the corner to your left, you'll see the train station they used a lot.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I can't risk going to the bad place.
Okay, well, maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
So that's what Little Europe looked like, bright, shiny, new, and in color for The Good Place, but here's what it looked like in black and white for the original Frankenstein films.
What is it now? The monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
1930s All Quiet on the Western Front. That was Universal's very first Best Picture Oscar winner. They also filmed in Little Europe. It was the streets of Germany for that film. Our most recent Best Picture Oscar winner was Oppenheimer last year, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. But a little bit more on our monster movie history. That really is what put Universal on the map, and here are some big filmmakers talking about that.
When you think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
The Wolfman,
Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera.
Classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image, flathead, bolt, it's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film.
I was just mesmerized by these movies.
Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Here's some of the other monsters we've helped bring to life throughout the years. We continue our monster movie tradition with our annual Halloween Horror Nights event that we're, of course, in the middle of right now. Also, Blumhouse works in a bungalow on our front lot. They make scary movies like The Purge, Megan. They did the remake of The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss a few years ago. It was really good. Now, whenever anybody everybody is filming. It's what we call a hot set, and we are getting the green light to go into our very own hot set right now. This is Soundstage 50. Make sure you remain seated and hold on while we check this out. We're not allowed to stay in here very long. This is a rare soundstage because it's 2 stories. There's a street scene built above us with a tanker up there. Apparently, it was important to the director of the film that's filming in here that we build a second story for them. There's a scene in the stove. We're in LA, sometimes we get trimmers. Okay, everybody hold on. Congratulations, everybody! You just survived Earthquake, the big one. That part of Earthquake opened back in 1989 is a great example of practical effects versus CGI. CGI is computer-generated imagery, so it's fake. Practical
and that
effects
makes me
are
miss
real,
Catastrophe
and
Canyon.
They're so much more fun. So our tour is now at about the halfway mark. I'm required to remind everybody to stay seated. Remember, if you need assistance, pull the red emergency cord. I'll be back there to help you out. Over here to your right are our Western sets. Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio work back here on Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. At this point in the tour, I think that we have maybe earned ourselves a little vacation. Let's go somewhere cool, calm, and peaceful, a place where nothing bad ever happened. Ooh, this billboard looks so nice. Let's go there. Amity Island, what a great idea. Nothing bad ever happened there. Okay, I'm lying. That's where that really mean shark from Jaws was, but we got nothing to worry about. They caught him. He's hanging up right over there. My buddy George is out there in the water by the boat doing his sweet, making sure everything's... Uh-oh. Did we not catch the right shark? Hey, George, get out of the water, get into the boat. George! Oh, that's my buddy George. Oh, we had a lot of guts being out there. Oh, I see them gross. Okay. Everybody remain seated. We gotta go somewhere safer, further down the pier. Let's hide behind the gas tanks. We'll be safe behind the gas tanks. All right, keep your eyes open. Water's red. We're gonna need a bigger chair. Is everybody okay? Anybody get eaten? Other than my buddy George. Bye, George. You were an okay friend. Now that shark's really old, you all knew he was going to pop up like that, but when he does pop up, he still manages to scare a lot of people, at least a little bit, right? The shark still does his job pretty well. A shark that did not do its job very well was Bruce, the mechanical shark from the set of Jaws. On the very first day of filming Jaws, Bruce sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. They had tested the shark, but they tested it in freshwater. They should have tested it in salt water. The salt in the ocean messed everything up. So Bruce sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. The crew started calling Jaws Jaws, and production was pushed back 100 days behind schedule. And if you're wondering why the shark's name was Bruce, Spielberg named him that after his attorney. Well, now we're in Old Mexico, and it's been a gorgeous day, but it's raining. But you can see that rain's not real. It's kind of only happening on the left side of the tram. That rain is the result of an overhead sprinkler system. It's just shooting the water up in the air, then it falls down to the earth in a natural-looking way, just using gravity. On screen, this looks real. It's exactly how we create rain for TV and film. However, this is a really old part of our lot. We're actually not supposed to let this effect go on for too long because weird stuff's happened back here before. So guys, can we cut the rain effects if you're back from your break? Are y'all back? I don't think you're back. Everybody, hold on. We had a flash flood. That one wasn't real either though. That's recycled water being released from tanks at the top of the hill. Here's what that looked like a big fat fire.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Hang on, funny
Now we're going to drive by Amity Island again. Here to tell us how he helped design that part of our tour is Jaws director Steven Spielberg.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did work much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1974.
And now we have turned into one of the most famous neighborhoods in the entire world. Everybody, welcome to Wysteria Lane, home to ABC's Desperate Housewives, and some other people I'll tell you about. If you missed a picture, don't worry, we're going out the same way we came in.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
Now the real name of the street at Universal, it's actually called Colonial Street. A lot of other people have lived on this street, including Ted.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see. We got 25 these.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Oh, come on, Johnny. We're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samara.
I'll tell you some other productions that have filmed in here. We'll talk about the houses to your right. The Yellow House was home to the Hardy Boys in the 70s, and it was the main house on Mindy Kaling's Netflix series Never Have I Ever. The purple house is the original 1313 Mockingbird Lane, home to the Munsters from the 1960s. And then the beige house after that, that's where Jimmy Stewart lived with a 6-foot-tall rabbit named Harvey in the film Harvey. The 1989 film The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks, they filmed in here. Here's a glance at that. And there is a new Peacock series, it's not out yet, but they've been filming, called The Burbs, based on the film, and it stars Keke Palmer, and they've been in Colonial Street filming using the same sets as the original film. This corner, we're going to see a few more picture cars over here to your left, including the very first tram. That's our Glamour tram from 1964 at the beginning of the tour. And then beyond that, you'll see picture cars from Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, the Flintstones. Of course, the Fast and Furious films. And at the end of the row, we have some Transformers. That's Bumblebee and a Decepticon. But our picture car is headed towards ominous territory now because we are turning in front of the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. It's this to your right. All this stuff in front of it is maze for Halloween Horror Nights. If y'all come back from Horror Nights, you get to walk around down here and get terrified. At the top of the hill to your right is the top of the Psycho house. I wonder if Norman Bates is home. Maybe we should go visit and see. What's the worst thing that could happen?
What's up, guys?
We all go out on maps sometimes.
The Bates Motel and Psycho House are two examples of two of the oldest, most classic sets still standing in Hollywood today. But as we turn the corner, we turn into one of the most colossal movie sets ever constructed. The plane crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. This is what remains of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hides out in the film. On your left, that's a real 747 airplane.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Spielberg.
You sit down to talk about the world. That thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Come close. Bobby, get in. Get in.
So we're now about 10 minutes away from the end of the tour. Just a reminder, call the emergency cord if you need assistance, otherwise remain seated. The Universal's been honored to work throughout the years with such generation-defining directors as Spielberg and Hitchcock, and we are thrilled to add Academy Award-winning writer-director Jordan Peele to that list. He wrote and directed Get Out, Us, and Nope, and we're going to the sets from Nope right now. Here to tell us more about it, Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky G. Park. Over there, look into the waking room and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of no.
you turn out, you will see a humongous blue wall in the distance to your right. That is the world's largest freestanding green screen, or blue screen. It's just a really big wall that's painted. There's a really big pit in front of it. We're going to drive right by it. You'll get a good look at it. We could fill the pit up with water and film really big scenes out here like these. We call this area Falls Lake. Spoiler alert if you've never seen Psycho before. Jurassic World also filmed some out here. Hunger Games Catching Fire, Inception, Dunkirk, Bumblebee, Top Gun Maverick. You can do just about anything nowadays with a big blue wall and some CGI. It's a great example of modern day filmmaking magic. And for over 110 years, Universal Studios has been thrilling audiences around the globe by making them laugh or cry or sit on the edge of their seats. So we are nearing the end of our tour. On behalf of myself, again, I'm Kelly, our driver Tommy, my co-host Jimmy, and everybody here at Universal Studios. Thank you for taking the world famous studio tour. To get the most out of your visit here with us today, you can download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app for up to the minute wait time, show times, and park info.